Hello, and welcome back to the definitive Starship Review series without access to a proper table. Also, the definitive Starship Review series that leaves the date on the camera. There we go. Also, the definitive Starship Review series that totally doesn't spend all of Sunday just relaxing after a move, lie down to bed and go, dang it, I forgot to make that Equinox video. It's okay, I'll do it tomorrow on Monday, it'll just be late. And then, also the show that does not do classes, then go, I'm gonna watch the new Doctor Who, and then watch the podcast on the Doctor Who that actually has a swear in its name, so I'm legally not allowed to say it. Ooh, that's weird. And then, watch that, and then go, dang it, I forgot to do the Equinox video again. But no, we're here, we're back, I can't remember how I arranged my cup. You've got my partner's face there. And yeah, we're back with the Equinox, the XL, and the small one, and all my new model toys. So all those models I've been ignoring, that Universe class, the O-Berth, that we'll see them, I can finally review those, because I've got access to all my new toys. Collector's models. Toys. Grown-up toys. But yes, anyway, the Equinox, one of the newer XLs. In fact, I think there's only one newer than it. Quite a nice, solid model. Eaglemoss actually sent me the wrong one. They sent me the Collector's edition, which isn't this, because they sent me a broken Collector's edition. This is also broken. I've just had time to repair it. But anyway, they, let me keep that, sent me this new one, and this does appear to be the XL Equinox. But before we begin, I have to say, as always, that I am part of the Eaglemoss affiliate program, which means that if you choose to buy either of these models because of this video, there'll be a link in the description. That is an affiliate link. It means that I will get a 7% commission on either the sale or the model, like the whole purchase of the model. I don't know. No one's done it yet. If someone could just do that, that'd be great, because then I'd know. Not for the money, I just want to know. And yeah, I have complete freedom to say literally anything I want about these models. I've said good and bad stuff before, but just bear in mind, there is a monetary incentive for me to say, go buy every single model Eaglemoss has ever produced. And yeah, let's start off with the scaling. First off, because I always forget to do it, this is what the standard Eaglemoss model, or the standard size, looks like next to the stand. Now, most of my Enterprises are still over at my college dorm. I didn't bring them with me, but thankfully, I still have the Disco Prize over here, and it is basically the same size as the Equinox. And as I said before, this means the Equinox is about the same size as just about any of this Enterprise. TOS, TMP, Gold, anything like that. Most of my other special models are still packed away, so actually the O-Berth class is it's almost an exact match. I swear these models are getting bigger over time, because everyone has the O-Berth, right? It's the only model newer than the Equinox, and also will be the review 2 reviews from now, because one person wanted to see the Gold XL Enterprise. So if you really want to see me review the XL O-Berth next week, 2 people have to comment about it. If you don't have that though, the XL Katinga class, the movie D7 basically is a little bit longer, but it's also about the same size. Again, basically all of my Discovery classes ships, but the new ones are packed away, but the XL Shinzo from the Zelda tip is also basically the same size as the Equinox. And finally, actually this is about as close as I could get on the Universe class. The USS Tucson is as close as I could get model-wise. That's the one with the rounded nacelles. I'm pretty sure the one with the red rounded nacelles and the yellow windows, the Maui or the V something, is also the same size, so that would work too. But bear in mind the Zhenghe is actually a bit shorter because these nacelles are longer. And it is also really close in size to the XL La Serena if you have that. But yes, the Equinox, a Defiant reject, essentially. I think they rejigged a bit, which, yeah, actually, that makes sense. I'm showing off all my new toys. I'm just happy to have them. Shall we start with the big one? Yeah, I was quite happy with this model, because the Equinox is a very kind of fluid, natural secondary hull. A lot of curves. You can see there's some weird geometry here, super curvy. It isn't just that it's one curve, that this goes, up, down a bit, up again, then kind of curves in a hill, has these weird overhangs in the deflector dish. I like them, but they're all just really weird shapes. And yeah, all across back here, even the top, this is kind of a weird natural neck joint. Like, I never did any advanced 3D modeling, but someone is used to do, like, a bit of that for the 3D printing. This does not look like a model I want to make. But it's very nicely done. It has the thing, I think the Enterprise C had this, and it really impressed me. It has the numbered escape pods, just like the Enterprise C. And as I was looking over this, really, I think what strikes me most about the Equinox, and a lot, well, basically all of this era of Starfleet, that I really love about Starfleet, and a lot of them new stuff are lacking, is because Starfleet never really did Greeblies, right? This era had, probably the most Greeblies. You've got this sort of stuff. But by Voyager, they were adding Greeblies to Starfleet. But because Starfleet couldn't do Greeblies, they did these little, like, engineering markings. So you can see there's loads of red, like, if you're building the ship, this is where, the phaser goes. These panels are the phaser panels. These red arrows, this is where your deflector dish is, like some sort of caution work thing. Like, all these little... Someone built this starship, or rather, probably quite a lot of people actually had to go up, build this starship. Whoops. You got the legs, phaser strip, probably a warp core, and it's... again, more of these arrows. I just love all that construction work, like, all that detail of, like, yeah... There's absolutely no reason this has to be on the ship when it's done. You could have painted over that. But they've just left them there for building work, blueprints, and again, every little weird circle. These little panels here, whatever they are. They've got those lines, those building work, and I really like that. There are a few weird things with the model. Like, it has these bumps on the nacelles. If you can see, they're on every single bit. And I think I checked the website. That's not some weird defect. It's just no other model has had that. I'm not too sure why the Eaglemoss has that. The Equinox has that. Voyager's pretty low resolution, of course, so it's kind of hard to make out if it should have that. But just skimming through the magazine, it didn't really look like that was there, so it was a bit weird. You do have something I always love to see, though, where I'm pretty sure these nacelles are completely transparent. Yeah, you can see my thumb on the other side, so... well, they're translucent, but the point is it's not solid inside of the cell, so it's hollow. And I don't think I have the light set up in a way to get it. Hang on. I don't know, it's really hard to get, but, like, it means in the right setting, you can really get, it looks like engine glow, and I think the ships that have those hollow nacelles always look the most like engine glow in the right lighting. Specifically, the right backlighting. The XL Equinox has also got an impressive amount of I'll call it gold on it. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost sure it's not gold. But it's the same paint they put around the RCS thrusters. On saucers, often they'll have RCS thrusters. This one doesn't, annoyingly. But it's that same, you can see, reflective paint. You've got gold bits there and there. This back grille, probably a shuttle bay or something. The little nacelle wiring, I always kind of call that copper wiring. I don't know what it is. And then around these fins, on these fins, you've got little stripes there and also there. And it makes this model pop a lot, because they're all over the place. Basically, in any normal angle you display this, there's something that's going to have a bit of a shine to it. And I quite like that. It's really nicely done. I also noticed when I sat to do this video, the Starfleet text is all blue. It's a very dark blue. But yeah, the NCCs, the registry, it's all blue, and that's interesting. Actually, the O-berth doesn't have it. The O-berth is all black, just off camera there. And the small Equinox is also black. And so that's interesting. I don't know if it's unique to the Equinox. If I had time, I might have read the magazine before recording this. Yeah, none of the other Starfleet models have it, and so I think it looks good. It's interesting. But now that I've seen it's blue, it's really hard to, like, not notice, oh, that text is blue. And of course, all over you've got these little etches. Not a lot of Aztecing on the Equinox, but I think that's also true for the ship itself. It's got this weird panel thing, like these squares rather than Aztecing. But you've also got your little indents for random panels, the greeblies, the cell detailing. And then the bottom's a bit more plain. It's still got all the lines where it should. It's got, I kind of call them Borg bits, the thing that Voyager has. The random technical greeblies is what they're called. Oh, and here, these ones also have gold that really make it pop, the circuitry in there. And the windows are also all in line. They're right where they should be. There's no weird leaky paint, at least on this model. this model does have a minor defect in this specific model of, I can't tell if there's paint on this little aero shuttle or if it's paint chipped off. I'm too scared to try and chip it away. I could ask Eaglemoss for a replacement if it really bothers me. It doesn't so much because it was there and like I already got the replacement XL. It's like I'm not gonna bother. It is also a bit of a seamy model. The seams aren't too natural, probably just because of how natural the shapes are. You can very clearly see, you know, I don't even have to point them out. Like you can see where the nacelle split in, where the top ends and begins. I was gonna say this is actually a really nice seam. It's because I've just seen the seam is actually along the rim here, which they do a lot in their models. It's really only a problem, like, yeah, if you're looking at it side on or maybe the back, but if you're viewing it from, like, this sort of thing where you usually will, like, yeah, they're there, but they kind of blend in with all the other lines and stuff that are supposed to be there. And just feeling around, I'm pretty sure this top section, so the saucer and the top of the back is metal. This is plastic. And it's actually it's really hard to tell sometimes what's metal, what's not. I usually have to go in temperature, forget about it, and because I've been holding these for so long, it's all the same temperature. But the nacelles is always our plastic. I think then it's time to take a quick look at our little normal Equinox. Different colors is obviously the most striking thing. The Equinox is quite an early model, if I remember correctly, so I think they went with kind of a generic Starfleet gray. Great for Voyager. Probably pretty close to the D, a lot of that, but this is definitely, at least from memory, this looks more accurate than this one. The nacelles also aren't hollow on the small one. It's hard to make out, but there is, I'm pretty sure there is something blocking in, like a divider in the middle of the nacelles, so the engine glow isn't going to be as good as it might be on the other Equinox. And of course, there's generally less detail. You actually still have a lot of these engineering marks all over the place. No escape pods. Well, actually, you do. Funny enough, they're actually numbered escape pods, but because they're not colored in, they don't pop out as much. As I said, black text, and still got all your lines. So, like, yeah, I mean, this is the Equinox. If you look at it, obviously less detailed, maybe slightly the wrong color. Some of the highlights to notice, like these blue bits, darker window coloring as well. They go for more of a green, but not all the windows are colored in. And that bridge in particular, you can really see isn't lit up a lot on the small one, where maybe it should be. I don't know, they're early days of doing starships, but there's finer detail on this model. Actually impressed at how much they have gotten on the smaller model, like looking at the back of this secondary hull. Obviously the larger one is more detailed, but they've really gone for actually those small details. And you can see those indents, even that circle with the little red outline. And the shuttle bay is actually more detailed. You can see there, it's got like the little yellow lines that guide the shuttles in. Whereas this Equinox, maybe a complaint I have about it is that the shuttle bay isn't very detailed at all. In fact, it's not even graded on the inside. It's just pure protected fly in there, because of course a Defiant reject ship, the bridge is sunken in and defended, the shuttle bay is defended, secondary deflector, which actually I think Voyager might have that, but yeah, as a rejected Defiant, it is a very sturdy science vessel. But I do really like, I think I might have mentioned it before, the geometry around this nacelle, the way you could kind of almost put your finger in it. Sorry, this deflector dish. I'm not sure about the blue base that the deflector dish just kind of pops out of, but I think it works in the vast majority of angles, and especially to the ones you'd be displaying it at. I really like how that was done. And it was also done on the smaller model. You can see it's got the same thing, and actually really well done. I'll say, as I'm recording this, I think of all the models I've reviewed so far, I think the standard Equinox is probably the one that holds up the best against its XL counterpart. Like, yeah, the XL is better. Of course it is. It's bigger, you can do more with it, but I think the small one holds up the most. I think I'm going to end it there, though. I'm starting to ramble. I hope you have a good idea, you know, if you were deciding of the Eaglemoss, which one you wanted. Whoever asked me to do the Equinox, you're welcome. I'm sorry I was a day late, but you're better than the person who wanted the gold TOS Enterprise, because you asked first. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you have questions on either of these models, be sure to ask me in the comments below. I don't know why I want to say description all the time. If there's any model you'd like me to review, just ask me. I'll review it. That's why I'm doing this one today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.